My wife and I talked about co-op. We've been talking about it for weeks because we want to do stuff on stream together. And I told you, if we couldn't figure anything out to play, she was probably going to come on stream and do a Q&A session with you guys because it's been a while now. You know, it's been a month, if you didn't know, since we did the Dunko Island co-op, and it didn't go anywhere. We stopped doing it, and since then we didn't really think of anything else, right? So we were talking about the various different things that we could do and the ideas that we had. And, you know, we looked up a bunch of games, a ton of games to try to look. And we're like, what are we going to do, right? So finally we came to a conclusion. Some of you are going to like it. Others of you are going to hate it. But I think for those of you who are into seeing us hang out and interact like a couple, right? And to enjoy a game together, which is what it's about, I think you're going to like what we came up with. If you're someone who's very demanding and has all this fucking laundry checklist of shit, things that you absolutely must require of any stream where two people are doing something together in a game, then you're going to be very upset. All right, I'll tell you right now, if you're one of the laundry list checklist people, just leave. You're not going to like these streams. Don't even bother attending them. All right, because that's not our intention. We're not doing this to be professional grade streamers where Kat is some kind of a veteran at this and everything's perfected. No, instead, it's two of us that want to do stuff together and just have fun. We want to have that social interaction like we have off camera, on camera. In fact, to give you some perspective here, someone left some comments on videos recently. And they said, you know, all the things that you've been describing that you do together on your day off would be great for content. For example, imagine if the first time Kat played Tekken and you were teaching her basics and we got to see her play the arcade mode that you described. That would have been awesome. Imagine her trying this power washing simulator and going through it and having, you know, doing the story of it. That would have been awesome. And this and that. And I'm thinking to myself, does this person not understand that, like, it's okay to have a life outside of a stream? Like, I don't have to have my stream on every moment that I'm out of this room and we're having interaction. Like, when I take a shit, I don't need to have the stream on as the turds hit the water. And as we're cooking, we don't have to see as we're frying and sauteing in the pan. You don't need to see it singe and sear. You don't need to see the smoke coming out of the food that I'm going to eat. I can just tell you that we made it and ate it. You know, it doesn't, not everything has to be broadcast live to an audience. There has to be like a separation of personal and public. And that's a great thing when you have that. Okay? I don't want to 100% have our private lives be broadcast to the world. Some people don't understand it. Like, well, I don't understand, but that's monetizable and people want to see it. So you should just do it. No, no, we shouldn't. We should have our own lives. That's the idea, is that I'm much happier now. I used to do that. I used to film and vlog everything in my home, and every trip that I went on and everything that I did was broadcast live to the internet. And a lot of people liked it. And it basically destroyed my life. It made it so that people became internet stalkers, that people became obsessed with me and my private life and how fucked up it was that they're all over every little piece of my house. It's obsessive. It's fucking disturbing. If you guys heard the stories of shit that's happened to me and my family over the years, you would be shocked and shit your pants. But I don't tell those stories because you don't give attention to that kind of fucked up stuff. You understand? No, I don't need to fucking show you every aspect of my life, okay? But in line with what people are saying like that, you know, thinking about what would have been a game that my wife would have played and I would have liked to be there either to participate in myself or to just sit there and do, like, you know, commentate on it, and what would have been something that we would have really liked to enjoy to do together that maybe we could just do on stream instead. And there's actually a game that we were talking about watching someone play or having her play, but we haven't found a means to have her play it because of our whole gaming situation, okay? All right, so that being said, here we go. Because some people are going to like this and some people are going to hate this. All right, so here we go. The game that we have decided on. People are just saying the most random shit in chat. It's hilarious. The game that we've decided on is a game that Kat has wanted to, again, play or watch for a while, and we didn't have the means, but then we were like, Eureka, why not? And I will give this, if you can believe it, I give credit to Slayer, who is not here today. I wish he was here, but he's never here during the day streams. Slayer left a comment on one of my videos yesterday. He's like, you know, this might work. And I talked with Kat about it, and we were like, actually, yeah, this would work 1,000,000%. I think this is an excellent idea. It's a game that's not very long. It's a game with a very interesting story. It's a game where we could even maybe do some co-op, but I'll explain in a moment because the game truly is co-op, but isn't. It's hard to explain. The game that I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen, no, it's not Singapore Simulator. Stop that right now. It's a game called Beyond Two Souls. It is one of the older Quantic Dream games. It's actually the major one that came out before Detroit Become Human. And if you can believe it, it is co-op, but not really. Allow me to explain what I mean by that, okay? It is co-op, but people were actually disappointed at the time because they thought it was fully co-op, and it's not, okay? So how it works is you're the main character, and that person, whoever player one is, plays as the main character with their control pad. But then there's another character that's a supernatural entity in the game. And if there's a second player, they can control the supernatural entity at certain points in the game. But there's never a point where you control them both at the same time. It kind of just swaps between the two. So you're basically just kind of a helper or an assist to the main character. All right. But here's the deal. Number one, it's a great plot. It's a very interesting game. If you've never seen the game before and you don't know the story, it's very interesting. Like, it hooked me when I was playing it. This game came out in 2013, by the way. So it's been a long time since it's been out. And if you haven't followed it or played it yourself, it's a very interesting story. Okay, that's number one. Number two, Kat's never played it. She knows nothing. She's heard about it. She likes the Quantic Dream games. You know, recently, we actually watched someone play Detroit Become Human. And then I'm watching myself play Heavy Rain every Sunday night on the DSP Throwback channel for the Retro React series. So we've been interested in this game for a while, and she's wanted to play it, and she can't play it because she doesn't have a PS5, and it's not on Xbox. Right now, currently, the only console we have in the living room where she plays games is the Xbox. And so it's not on there. So she just hasn't had access to it. So we stayed away. Originally, we were going to maybe watch someone else play it, but we kind of held off from it. And now we're actually happy that we did because here's the thing. The game's only around 8 to 10 hours long. So it would take only like 4 or 5 streams to beat it, which is good. It's a digestible game. It's episodic, right? It's not a game that has insane amounts of gameplay investment where we're going to be stressed or bored. Instead, it's an ongoing narrative. The narrative will get you excited to keep going. It gets you hooked and interested in the game as opposed to, oh, it's just gameplay, right? That was the problem with Dondoko. It's literally just grinding gameplay to get a reward. There's nothing to it. There's no story. There's nothing. With this, it's a narrative. It's interesting. And again, if you've never played it and you don't know the story, it's very exciting. Now, the other thing is, I did play it in 2013 when it was new, but I've never played or watched it since. So because of that, it's been 11 years. I honestly don't remember much of it. I'll probably remember certain scenes, but I don't remember that much. So for me, it's going to be cool to re-experience this game again because it's the first time in 11 years and it'll be kind of refreshing and interesting. So the Friendly Gremlin says, are you going to call her Elliot Page or Ellen Page? You're not going to call her anything because it's a character in the game. It's not the actress or actor. It's a person in a game. You don't have to call them by their real name. It's not a concern. Really, if we're saying we're going to play Beyond Two Souls of co-op and your major concern is, are you going to call the actor Elliot or Ellen? You don't have to be at the stream. You cannot attend. It's fine. If that's really what's going to be on your mind the whole time, that's all you can think about, I think you need to take a step back from reality. It's a little fucking stupid thing to say. Honestly. Okay? Anyway. So anyway, all that being said, let's now start talking about this. But here's the thing, okay? I can't do it this week. There's no way. We are making a push to finish Baldur's Gate 3 and Like a Dragon. So once those games are done, all right, then we're going to bring this co-op into the fray. All right, we are. Now, will we actually play it co-op? That's a good question because it's actually funny. I read a few online reviews about how the co-op works in this game. And they're like, literally, you don't have to play it co-op. What you can do is just have the one controller. And so the one person plays the main character. And when it's time for the other character, you can just hand the controller over. And then that person just makes all the decisions for the other character. You don't need 2 controllers. Like, it's literally exactly the same. There's no difference. So maybe we'll just use one controller instead of having to have two and have one, me just sit around not playing 90% of the time, just pass the controller back and forth or whatever, right? I don't know. Okay, so anyway,